Hey, what's up? So, have you thought recently about where the state of mid-range headphones are right now? As in 2024, what's going on? And well, I have a very good answer for you. So let's hop right into it. Now, I would like to clarify as I'm sort of opening this up here, I was not paid for this review, and it will be entirely honest. Now, when you look at the front of the box here, it's pretty simple. Kind of gives Apple vibes to it a little bit, I guess you could say. But the company is SoundPeats. There's their logo. And these right here are the Capsule 3 Pro Plus. Very Sony named headphones, but not by Sony. Now, if we turn it over to the back, these are in black, and they support a few features, which I'm going to name real quick. For one, they support active noise cancellation as well as transparency mode. They are running on Bluetooth version 5.3. They have about 6.5 hours of listening time without the case, which in comparison to AirPod Pros, at least the first generation, they were only about 4 hours, so already ahead in that sense. And then up to 43 hours with the charging case. You'll get about 10 meters of maximum distance between your phone and the headphones, and the battery capacities are, I would say, a fair size, 35 milliamp hours for the headphones and 500 milliamp hours for the case. Now, as we open this up here, it's a very simple process, but when you open it up, you're greeted, of course, by headphones here, as well as some paperwork and stuff. So if we pull this out first, it's in a pretty simple box. When we pull it out, you'll see we have a couple things, actually. So number one, stickers. Kind of weird. I mean, it's whatever, just, yeah. But we do get a user guide, which actually will come in kind of handy, as these were kind of hard to kind of learn how to use at first, just because there's all kinds of different controls, which I'll speak about in a second. Of course, other things as well, like how to pair them. So definitely very useful information. But then also in here, shoved at the bottom, is a Type-C charger. It's very short, like maybe 3 inches. And then a couple spare ear tips just sort of thrown in here. But that is all of that. And then of course the headphones are right here, covered in this plastic wrap, which I'll just slide off. And it says up here at the front, power your imagination. It's got a button as well as USB-C on the bottom. And then on the back it says SoundPeats on this hinge. Now, the best way I can describe this material is a black matte. Think of the Apple Pencil 2nd generation. It feels pretty similar to that. But when you open them up, the headphones are greeted on top. The light up at the front will change colors depending on the status of the charge. So just kind of a nice little feature to have. But I mean, they're pretty solid, pretty simple little headphones, nothing crazy. And of course, like I said, the tips are changeable, in case you can't get the right fit with the pre-installed ones. Now, as far as AirPod Pros are concerned, they are a pretty similar, size, thickness. This case is definitely a little bit larger, but for the most part, pretty similar, right? Nothing crazy. But the headphones themselves are bigger, making it a lot harder to fit in some people's ears, and again, other people it may work better. But that was one of the issues I had, was these did not fit that well in my ears, and they still don't. Changing the ear tips does help, but keep that in mind. So now that I've used these headphones for about a week now, right, I have some thoughts, both good and bad. Now, number one, on the good side, they sound great. As far as audio quality is concerned, they sound very on par with the AirPods Pro first generation. Now, I know these headphones are not in the same price bracket, right? These are closer to in between $60 and $80, whereas AirPod Pros are closer to $200 to $250. So there's a massive price difference, and keep that in mind, because that is important when it comes to judging headphones. But even with this massive price bracket difference, these headphones still sound about on par, right? They sound really, really good. Now, when I first used them, there was a bit of a weird, it sounded a little tinny, but then it got better. They do have an app which you can download and check out, the EQ settings. So I did mess around with that, which meant I probably did tune them more towards my style and made them sound a little better. But no, I mean, honestly, the drivers themselves are pretty solid. Now, noise cancellation and transparency. I use AirPods with noise cancellation every single time. I never use them without noise cancellation. And I would give these, I mean, if AirPod Pro first generations are a 10 out of 10 on the scale, I would give these probably a 7, 8 out of 10, right? And it's only because it makes the world sound weird, right? You know, you would expect it just to become quieter, but everything around you begins to sound like weird and like broken up and distorted. It makes everything else sound weird, and it kind of shocks you a little bit. So kind of keep that in mind, of course. But keep in mind, for the $60 to $80, noise cancellation is great, and it definitely should not be a deterrent from buying these. And then as far as transparency mode is concerned, I mean, it's transparency mode, nothing crazy. I will say it does, when you put it in your ear and you're trying to adjust it, it can tend to have, like it just, you can hear the sound of it kind of rubbing up against your ear, which can be a little annoying. But for the most part, I mean, transparency, it works fine. Nothing crazy there. Totally fine. All right, now for a couple questionable things, right? Number one, when you're connecting these things or switching between noise cancellation or transparency, it plays this random lady's voice in the headphones, which, if I'm being honest, makes them feel cheap. I don't like that at all.
ANC on. Normal mode. Pass through.
I definitely wish there was maybe like just a chime that played, like a short little like sound. But no, there's somebody that speaks in these headphones, and it makes it feel cheap having somebody else's voice built into the software. So definitely something I would change for future headphones. But the other thing too is controls. Now, Apple has done a very good job with these controls, putting them on like the stems of the headphones. These are a bit different. The controls are actually on, as you can see, the front, or I guess the back of the headphones, on this flat area. And there's a whole list of controls, but they involve tapping or holding down on the sides. Now, in theory, that's awesome because you can change the volume, pause, play, do whatever you want to do. But in actuality, every single time you go to put these headphones in or adjust them, you hit the controls. And that can become very annoying because I'm constantly changing the volume or doing, you know, whatever else I have them programmed to do on accident, and it gets pretty annoying. So definitely keep that in mind. Because you have to adjust them, there's a good chance you accidentally hit the controls. And then as far as fit is concerned, I mean, it varies person to person. For me, I struggle to get these to fit. I believe I'm using the largest tips I could find, and they fit okay, but they definitely do fall out more than AirPods. They just don't feel like they kind of get in your ear enough to hold. And so just keep that in mind. If fit is an issue for you, it could be an issue here, but again, that does vary person to person. But that's really been it. These are just some of the things that I've noticed. And of course, there are some good things. These are really good headphones for the price. But, you know, with good parts also comes some bad parts, which I've listed here. Now, if you would like a recap on these headphones, you know, a few weeks, a couple months later, of course, I'd be happy to do that. And of course, a link for these headphones from Amazon will be in the description. As of right now, as recording this video, they appear to be off sale, but I'm sure within just a little while, those will be back to normal. So hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, as it helps me out a ton. And I look forward to see you guys in the next one. So yeah, bye guys.